Lovers of all things SEC football, it is time to wake up. It is Saturday morning, September 16th, and it is time for a little SEC football game day right here on Southeastern 14. Super excited to welcome you into this episode of SEC football game day. As it is Saturday morning, we have conference games beginning and super excited to get into this slate of games with you. We're going to preview everything. We're going to break it down a little bit here for you. We will not be mentioning, in depth some of these games that are not necessarily big games like Texas A&M and ULM. Just go take care of business, Texas A&M. Play better in the secondary. Do your thing on offense, and that's not one we're going to dive into. Also, Auburn and Samford. Hey, Auburn ought to take care of business, get Peyton Thorne rolling, get Jarquez Hunter some carries early, get everybody out of the game, stay healthy, and do your thing there. Even Vanderbilt, we're not going to go into a big thing there because Vegas thinks Vandy is a 4.5-point favorite on the road in Vegas. Go out there, represent the league well, and take care of business, Vandy. And then also Kentucky hosting Akron. Just need to see Kentucky start fast. They're a 25-point favorite in this game, so need to make sure that they take care of business there. But guys, we are going to break down this slate in order. Make sure that you hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications so you catch everything SEC football related when it comes to these games every week. We have prediction videos that go out, guys. We have betting tips with Brian Edwards, Jake's takes with Jake Crane of Crane & Company. So there is all kinds of stuff that we have ready to roll right here on the channel. So without further ado, guys, let's get into these matchups that you're going to see throughout the day. We're going to go in order of kickoff, and one of the early kickoffs here is LSU, 9.5-point favorite in Starkville. The Tigers are over under 54 in this one. Like I said, it's a 12 o'clock Eastern kickoff, so that means it's 11 o'clock out there in Mississippi. So an early kick, I think that it tends to be an advantage for the home team. When you're on the road, you got to wake up early, not sleeping in your own bed, all that kind of stuff. It has a little effect, and balance is the key to this one. Balance for LSU, meaning, okay, are the Tigers going to be able to get some production from their running game not related to the quarterback? Logan Diggs stepped up, looked like RB1 for them, but albeit it was against Grambling last week. Can he bring that over? Can that offensive line protect Jaden Daniels? Give them opportunity to run the football. That will set up play action opportunities and also balance in their passing game. A lot of it's been short to intermediate. Are they going to spread the field a little bit, test that deep third of the field, get back there and try to give Mississippi State secondary problems? I think that is a key to this one. So couple different types of balance you need to see out of LSU. Balance in their passing game of how they go about distributing the ball and attacking parts of the field, and then also do they get anything out of the run game? And then Mississippi State, we need to see balance of, hey, are they going to unshackle Will Rogers a little bit? Only 17 pass attempts. They've been pounding the ball with Woody Marks. He leads the SEC in rushing coming in. They also have Davis and Pittman, guys who are just absolutely bringing the noise when they run the football. I like the cowbells to keep this one close over there. I like the atmosphere, things that are going to go on. And I outright picked Mississippi State for the upset in this one. Give us your thoughts, comments, leave your comments here. Let us know what you think about this matchup. Will Rogers, it could be his last opportunity to get a shot here at LSU. Who knows if he's going to come back for one more year or not, but I think they're going to let him loose a little bit, and you're going to see Will Rogers sling it around, plus a new revamped running game over there in Kevin Barbay's offense with Woody Marks spearheading that effort. I know that they get Mason Smith back on the other side. They say Deshaun Womack's going to play a little bit, but I'm just telling you, being on the road, early kickoff, things can happen a little crazy right there. Give me Mississippi State for the upset. Let us know what you think about that one as well, guys. Next one, another noon kickoff. We've got Kansas State This line, it started out, I think, in the 6-point favorite, 5.5-point favorite. It's come down to 3.5 in favor of K-State. Missouri, this is a big game for Eli Drinkwitz and company. They really, really need this for just the momentum, the confidence of what they're building. They're doing really good things in recruiting. Okay, they're doing good things. They get some 5 stars like a Luther Burden, like Williams Winari. They're changing the Missouri State Legislature is changing the laws to help them get NIL and things going over there in Missouri. So there's lots of effort, of excitement going on over there with the Missouri Tigers. Can they get that win that they can plant the flag and point back and say, hey, this is where it started for us? And Eli Drinkwitz needs one of those, and this could be it. Listen, the over-under is only 49. They're expecting a defensive ball game, and why not? You've got a team that in Kansas State, Big 12 champs last year, held down that TCU offense that was so good last year with Max Duggan in the championship game, and Missouri has like a billion seniors over there that literally they're starting 9-10 seniors. They have 10 returning starters on that defense. They have more seniors on the bench that are coming off. So experience, they have a ton of it, and they have playmakers at corner and Abrams Drain. In Rakestraw, they have a ton of guys. Tyrone Hopper in the middle. So I'm excited to see that matchup with Will Howard and that Kansas State offense versus Missouri. Now, it's about to get physical in this one. I think both teams would like to run the ball early, get their backs going. You got Schrader on the Missouri side. You got two backs that are really talented over there for Kansas. They've got 27 carries apiece. Their top 2 backs do. So can Missouri make Kansas State one-dimensional, okay, and say, okay, Will Howard, you got to test our really good corners and Abrams Drain and Rakestraw and see if they can make some plays on the back end. Probably need to win the turnover battle by maybe 1 or 2 in this one. If you're Missouri, to make sure everything's going good, and got to get Luther Burden going and be creative. He's got 16 touches in the first 2 games combined. I'd like to see him get close to that in this game alone, whether it's wildcat quarterback, whether it's putting him in motion on some fly sweep action, moving him around pre-snap, putting him in the slot, putting him out wide, different things you can do, the screen game, take shots deep, whatever you can do with Luther Burden. He needs to get the ball as much as possible. And then also maybe get Theo Wees going in a second option, somebody that can complement him and even things out, and maybe even let Brady Cook run the ball a little bit more. So that's what I'm looking to see out of Kansas State and Missouri. Brady Cook had 585 rushing yards last year. Free Brady Cook. Get some quarterback design runs, get some things going. Excited to see what is going to happen there. Next, we get to the 3:30 kickoffs. I will be at this game this weekend. South Carolina at Georgia. Minus 27 for Georgia. A lot of points there in an SEC game. Over under 54.5. 3:30 Eastern at CBS. Georgia should dominate up front on both sides of the ball. Plain and simple. Georgia has not played to its standard on the offensive line yet, and that's a defensive front in South Carolina with Tonka Hemingway, with Huntley, with Strawn. I mean, it's got some guys who've been around, who've had success in this league, but Georgia needs to come out and assert itself. It's got 4 guys that could possibly get drafted after this year off this offensive line. It needs to start playing like it, not running the ball as well as it needed to in 2 cupcake games early. Can Georgia come out now that they have Daijun Edwards back in this game and look better running the football? That will open up play action pass and shots down the field for Carson Beck, be able to stretch the field. It looks like Ladd McConkey is going to be out for a little while longer with that back. So that's maybe a little bit more serious than Georgia first anticipated. I want to see Dominic Lovett get going. I want to see Ra Thomas get going. 2 big-time transfers that you brought in here for Georgia. Get them going here in SEC play. If you're South Carolina, the reason I say Georgia should dominate up front, they do not have the personnel that an SEC team should have up front. They've got guys from Yale, from Western Illinois. I mean, it's just not a good deal over there for Shane Beamer. They have basically zero depth. Marky Anderson is going to be out this game. Talented freshman that was playing some guard for him, maybe like that sixth offensive lineman. So I don't know how they're going to be able to protect Spencer Rattler, and except getting the ball out as quickly as possible. So Georgia needs to tackle well on the perimeter early, because South Carolina is going to be getting it out on screens, on quick passes, and then also just three-step drop, put it up in the air, 50-50 ball to Leggett, to Juice Wells, to all this kind of stuff. So if you're Georgia's corners, you're going to have to make plays on the ball in the air early on. I think Georgia's a 27-point favorite for a reason. Their roster is just infinitely better than South Carolina's right now. I like Daijun Edwards coming back to really steady that run game, and Carson Beck and Mike Bobo, I think, are going to take the training wheels off this offense and start taking some shots down the field. I think Georgia ends up winning this one probably 38-10, something along those lines, and they end up covering that 27 right there. Another 3:30 game. Alabama, 31-point favorite on the road at South Florida. Yeah, you heard that right, on the road. I think Saban is scouting out the Tampa area for a Mercedes-Benz dealership that he's going to open up down there. I'm not sure why this game otherwise would be down in Tampa for the South Florida game. I have no idea. But, hey, here it is. Over under 61, 3:30 kickoff ABC. Tyler Buchner looks to be the starting quarterback for Alabama in this one. Is this a knee-jerk reaction? Is this going to help out that offensive line at all? I don't think so. I mean, you still got problems there. You still got freshman Caden Proctor, who got exposed in that game versus Texas. Seth McLaughlin's had snap problems for the first couple of games, and I just don't know how you don't have a whole lot of in the two deep there, the offensive line. You still have freshmen. I think that Jalen Milroe would have looked great against South Florida. Tyler Buchner should look great against South Florida. They're way more talented than South Florida. Just get the ball out quickly into the hands of your playmakers, of Prentice, of Bond, of Brooks, of Burton. Let these guys go. Amari Niblack in the red zone, all this kind of stuff. But I want to see some production out of the running backs there for Alabama. McClellan, Roydell Williams, Justice Haynes. I don't care whoever it is. So far in the year, 50 carries, 199 yards, only 3.9 yards per carry out of the backs. Give it to them early. Let them get a rhythm. That big offensive line, hey, the two tackles got up to 360 pounds because they were going to lean on people, and Tommy Reese was going to bring back the power run. Well, let's see it right here, especially when you got a quarterback in Tyler Buchner who's going to be trying to get settled in. Need to see them be able to get things done here and make sure that they are, physical in that run game. So that is Alabama, South Florida. That's a lot of points, especially when Alabama's offense has not been, executing like they need to. Alex Golesh he's the head coach at USF. He was at Tennessee a year ago, so he knows how to attack that Alabama defense, but does he have the personnel to do it? I don't know if I'd take the 31, but obviously Alabama is going to take care of business in this one. Now, the next one we're going to go at here is maybe the game of the weekend. Tennessee -5.5 at Florida tonight. Over under 56.5, 7 o'clock kick on ESPN. Who gets the run game rolling? That's my question. People misconstrue all the time about Josh Heupel's offense there at Tennessee. They think, it's sling it around, it's the tempo, but it's all predicated off can they run the football. They have ran the football better than they've passed it, but again, Virginia, Austin Peay won't be the level of the defensive competition that they're going to see against Florida. Florida was decent in holding down the run game versus Utah. I believe, it wasn't elite, but it was decent. Tennessee's got to get the running game going against Austin Armstrong's offense, against Austin Armstrong's defense over there for Florida. And if they do, that will help Joe Milton in a hostile environment get in a rhythm. That's where they gas you, and then they hit the big shot on you. Once you've got the tempo and once you're trying to get an extra hat in there to stop that run, where they've got Jabari Small and Jalen Wright and that offensive line. They get Cooper Mays back. They get all that rolling on you, and you have to say, okay, well, we can't just get death by 1,000 cuts here. We got to stop that run. An extra hat comes into the box. They take a shot on one of those deep choice routes, and it's curtains. Then they score. So that's how Tennessee likes to go about, taking care of business and trying to hurt people offensively. Florida, same thing. You can't make Graham Mertz throw this ball 50 times in this game. He needs to have some help from Etienne, from Montrell Johnson. They only had 10 carries for 31 yards against Utah to open up. Tennessee's defensive front is extremely disruptive, whether it's Beasley, Barron, Pierce. All these guys live in opponents' backfields, and Florida has to avoid negative plays. They've been doing a lot of east-west stuff in their run game. Let's get north and south if you're Florida, okay? Challenge that Tennessee defensive front, go right at them, and then make those linebackers and safeties start creeping up, and that's when maybe you can get, Ricky Pearsall, Eugene Wilson, Burke, all these guys. Maybe you can slip somebody past and hit a couple big plays there. Florida's not really dynamic at receiver, but a strong running game would certainly help things open up there for Graham Mertz and company. That Florida crowd, the Swamp, has an opportunity to make a difference. Like I said, this is Joe Milton's first big time start on the road as the Tennessee quarterback. So can this Florida crowd make a difference? This one opened up, I think, at 7.5. It's crept down to 5.5. Over under is 56.5. But I'm excited to see this one tonight, as the Gators have just a mental edge, it seems, over Tennessee. 16-2 overall in this rivalry over the last 18 games, and I think it's been since 2003 that Tennessee, last time they won at the Swamp, so going on 20 years now. So excited to see how this one turns out between these two teams, this battle in the SEC East. Leave your comments below. Let us know what you think is going to happen. Georgia Tech going over to Oxford, Mississippi. The Ole Miss Rebels are a 17.5-point favorite. Over under 63. 7:30 kick on the SEC network. My question is, does Quinshad Judkins break out? Will the real Quinshad please stand up? Because he has not been great so far to start the year. They haven't ran the ball as effectively as they wanted to. Now maybe they felt like they didn't have to as much, but they got pushed in that Tulane game for sure. A good Tulane team that didn't have Michael Pratt. Haynes King, pretty good quarterback. Yeah, that name's going to sound familiar. He's so far in the year, 7 touchdowns, 1 interception, 603 yards. Has played well with Buster Faulkner as his OC there at Georgia Tech. He was formerly the quarterback at Texas A&M. You'll remember when they lost to App State and all that stuff. So he's kind of had a resurgence here. He's an athletic guy. He can run around a little bit. So Ole Miss is going to have to stay disciplined in their pass rush when they're attacking Haynes King, not let him make plays on the pocket, outside the pocket. But overall, guys, this is about Jackson Dart and that offense at Ole Miss staying, in rhythm like they've been. He's been playing tremendously great, but can they get Quinshon Judkins to break out and get the talented? I mean, he was extraordinary as a freshman last year. Has been a little quiet, has a little sophomore slump to start off the year here. Team's probably keying in, but they're taking what's given to them. Behind that, they got Jordan Watkins going last game. Trey Harris was injured. Who knows if he'll be, full speed in this game or not. So excited to see what happens there tonight. In Oxford, Georgia Tech taking on Ole Miss. In this one, I wouldn't necessarily pick Georgia, pick Ole Miss to cover. I think Ole Miss is going to win, but I think Georgia Tech is playing a good brand of ball under Brent Key. They're going to try to shorten this game, and they gave Louisville all they wanted. A Louisville team that's a little bit better than people thought this year. So I think I like Georgia Tech to cover, but I like Ole Miss to win that game. And then last but not least, we have BYU coming to Fayetteville to take on Arkansas. These teams have played over the last couple of years. Arkansas has dominated this. They're an 8-point favorite. 47 is the over-under. 7:30 kickoff on ESPN2. Who makes plays for Arkansas? That's my question. It took them a long while in that Kent State game to really get some plays going. And when they did make plays, they had to be like extraordinarily difficult plays from Isaac Tesla, catching balls that KJ's putting on point. There was a couple of times KJ threw a few balls that were, not great placement, but then he would thread the needle on those. They had to use his legs running the ball a lot with Rocket Sanders out. Can you get AJ Green, Rashad DeBinion, Dominic Johnson, all these guys? Can they see some of these holes? There were some holes that they missed last week with Bo Limmer, Brady Latham, those guys up front. They're still getting some guys on the offensive line, a little bit of experience up there, so they need to be physical in that run game. Start off fast, get AJ Green going, get the ball out to these playmakers. Andrew Armstrong, Isaac Tesla, Isaiah Sategna. Let them get in a rhythm early. Get some easy access throws if you're Dan Enos over there, and they should be able to take care of business at home in Fayetteville. Isaiah Sategna on special teams could be big on this. He's just a human joystick, man. I mean, the guy makes people miss in a phone booth. So I'm excited to see what he's able to do over there. BYU, always well coached, always hard nosed. This one looks to be a low scoring game. They're thinking it's going to be like, 28-20, something along those lines. 27-19, whatever over there is kind of the implied point total. I think you see Arkansas play a little bit crisper, be a little bit more focused than they were against Kent State as they ramp up for SEC play here. Arkansas needs this one, okay, because they're about to go on a brutal stretch of their schedule. When you look at Arkansas's schedule right here, they have BYU at home, then they're at LSU, Texas A&M in Dallas and Jerry's World, at Ole Miss, at Alabama, Mississippi State at home, all in the next 5 consecutive games following this one. So this is a must. You got to start off 3-0. You got to get out of this one with some, try to make sure that you stay healthy and get prepared for that LSU game next week in Baton Rouge. So excited to see what happens with BYU and Arkansas later in the day. Guys, this has been SEC football game day here on Southeastern 14. If you like our content and you want to advertise on our channel, be the MVP of Southeastern 14 and advertise with us, reach out to caroline.smith@Southeastern14 to find out how your products and your services can be seen by over 150,000 unique viewers each month. Got over 350,000 views this past month alone, and that number is only going up. We've blown past 11,000 subs. We're going up to 12,000 subs rapidly. So be a part of what we're doing here. Advertise with us on Southeastern 14. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoy your game day today, and we will see you guys next time to talk more SEC football. We'll be doing a reaction show live tonight on this channel. So make sure you hit that notification button so you know when we go live. Like, subscribe, leave your comments below. And thank you so much for tuning in to Southeastern 14 and SEC football game day this morning. We'll catch you after all of them are done this evening. For everybody at Southeastern 14, I'm Blayne Gilmer. Have a great rest of your day.